I missed you. So I was sat there in the living room the other day, being productive, making the most of my free time, and I remembered I haven't actually spoken to you guys much about my first year at uni. And here I am, reflecting on a year living in Newcastle as an undergrad. You might be watching this video thinking of going to uni yourselves maybe one day, or you might be a uni student like me at the moment and wondering how other people got on. And I hope this video is somewhat helpful. Personally, I think going to uni's got to be up there with one of the best things I've done. Of course, there was that time I probably shouldn't mention that. Yeah, you know what, it is the best thing I've ever done. And first off, a word on societies. I'd absolutely recommend signing up for societies that are relevant to yourself, but be careful not to splash out too much on memberships for societies that you won't realistically get to go to. I mean, I signed up for stuff like tennis, modern languages, rounders, and I didn't actually get around to going to any of them because, I'm a busy guy. Even though I'll probably sign up for tennis again this year. As for the societies I did go to, I was able to meet a load of people who ended up becoming a part of my friendship group outside of my flat and my course. So I'd say it's definitely worthwhile going to that games night or that meal out or whatever it might be. And I guess the most important piece of advice I could give from my time at uni so far is to be yourself. I know, cliche AF, but the simple fact of the matter is you're more than likely to find your own tight-knit circle of friends at uni. And yeah, you might have a load of friends from school or college or whatever, but if you're living away from home hundreds of miles away, then I think it's pretty important to find your own family away from home. You need to find your own people, shall we say. I mean, I don't drink, clubs, partying, that's not really my scene. And despite all of that, I'm glad I've still been able to find some desperate people who will put up with me on a pretty much daily basis. So yeah, no matter where you come from, what your background is, how weird you might think you are, there's tens of thousands of people at uni, and you will find your own crowd. Next up, let's talk food. It's easy to let yourself go and get lost in the world of Just Eat and Deliveroo as soon as you move away from home.
Did you remember to ask for the chicken with broccoli to be diced, not shredded?
Yes.
Even though the menu description specifies shredded?
Yes.
Brown rice, not white?
Yes.
Did you stop at the Korean grocery and get the good hot mustard?
Yes.
Did you pick up the low sodium soy sauce from the market?
Yes.
Good.
And I'll admit, I did get a bit lazy towards the end of semester 2, it was Ramadan, exam season. I didn't really have the energy to be cooking every single day. And of course, like anyone else, I did start to miss my mum's home-cooked food after a couple of weeks, so she made me take a couple of boxes of food for the freezer every time I visited home. And in terms of my budget, cooking for myself really allowed me to save a ton of cash at the start of semester 1, as well as allowing me to develop my cooking skills.
Fucking hell.
Speaking of budgets and money, I'd highly recommend setting up your own spreadsheet or something like that to, track your spending every month, just so you don't get any nasty surprises on your bank statements. Oh yeah, another thing I should mention, houses. I'm not sure about other places, but at Newcastle, most people had their viewings and tenancy agreements signed for next year's houses by the end of November, if not the end of semester 1 at the latest. So yeah, make sure you have discussions with potential housemates early on so that no one gets left in the dark at the last minute. Of course, if you are a bit late in all of this, then there is the regular, student halls type of residencies available later on. The main competition is of course for the houses in the nicer areas, so be quick and decisive in your search. Finally, I couldn't make a video about uni without mentioning lectures. If you decide to actually go to them, then you'll want to have some sort of strategy in place to take your notes. If you have a maths type module which requires loads of calculations and writing down, then I'd suggest, sticking to a physical notepad. But otherwise, for more normal content, I'd suggest using Microsoft OneNote. And remember, with your student email, you should be able to get a free copy of Microsoft Office from the uni as well, if you don't already have it, of course. So for example, as you can see here, I made a notebook for year 1 with a section for each of my modules, and then I simply added a page for each lecture. And the good thing about OneNote as opposed to Google Docs or Microsoft Word, for example, is that it's so much quicker to just highlight stuff, drag and drop diagrams, create your own, and it's fluid. That's the key word. A special shout out to my flatmate Yahya for pointing this out to me and helping me make the transition. I think that wraps it up. Of course, if you liked this video, if you found it helpful, then leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, think that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching.